Welcome to Youth Unfiltered,
the show that moves away from the grooving and the turning up to focus on the actual issues the youth face today, featuring actual youth. My name is Sibu Mpanza, and today I'm joined by three financial geniuses to talk about that thing that makes the world go round, money. Welcome to the show, Aaron, Tabiling, and Kayla.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Kayla, let's start with you.
All right.
Simple one. What is your number one tip when it comes to saving, budgeting, or investing?
I think you have to have a goal in mind. You've got to actually set real intention behind what you do with your finances, because it's one thing to say, I'm going to save, and now your money's in a savings account, or you've got an investment account, but there's no intention with what you want to do with that. If you know you're working to investing in property, or if you're working to, making a big purchase, whatever that may be, if there's a goal, if there's intention, there's actually determination to stick to what you've planned. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah. I love what she mentioned in terms of actually setting the intention, but I would also add on in terms of actually start saving. To me, often we talk about saving, but we don't actually do it. And when you do it, you are the first person to withdraw those funds and to go and party with them.
Are you trying to talk to me personally?
You know what I'm saying?
Say my name.
I've been there. So that's the most important thing for me.
Tabiling?
No, 100%. And I also feel that school doesn't really teach you so much. In fact, we're taught on how to save, but not how to invest the money that we get. So I love the intentionality about it, that we must be intentional in terms of educating ourselves. I mean, we all know the latest TikTok trends, but that same device could be the place where you get all the information you need just to be one up when it comes to investing.
I do feel a huge amount of pressure to spend money. Everybody around us has like these cars, these things, these physical assets, and it's kind of cool to like see, and that's what we're striving for.
I do not feel pressure to spend money at all. If I let the pressure of spending get to me, then I'm not going to be able to fulfill my goals and my dreams.
I do feel pressured to spend money, especially when, just a little example, when we're having lunch and you don't have lunch and you want to have a burger as well, why not get a burger? It won't hurt. But you do realize that when you spend, you actually do have a little bit of regret, but it's life after all.
Next thing I want to talk about is debt. I grew up in a house, right, where I was told run as far away from debt as possible. Is there positive debt? Is there bad debt? Where do you think we should be looking?
No, 100%. There's definitely good and bad debt. I would classify the bad debt as things like loans, credit cards, things that don't really bring a return in. But if you learn in terms of, an asset portfolio of some sort, like when it comes to property, that would be a good debt. At the same time, if you have a tenant in there, they're paying the rental income, which goes towards the mortgage. And property occurs in value as time goes. So it's quite important to be able to differentiate what's good debt and what's bad debt, because at the end of the day we all do need debt at some point, especially if you don't have the capital to start a certain project. You need to leverage money off other people, sometimes off banks, and in order to do that you need to have built a strong credit record for yourself.
What do you think, bro?
I would love to jump on what Ntabileng just mentioned in terms of a credit record.
Yes.
I mean, the first time I had the debt conversation was with my dad, and my dad was like, you need to actually start like a clothing account. Sure. And I was like, why?
You need a credit score.
I need to, why do I need a clothing account? And he was like, no, you need to start building your credit score. Yeah. And then that's when the conversation started. And later on, you realize that you want to go into property. You realize that you want to finance that car, so you need to go to the bank. Yep. And then the first thing they talk about is, how does your credit score look like? So at some point you do realize that you need good debt in order for you to build some good credit.
Sure.
And that's an important conversation, especially if you are looking at getting those assets.
I think if I can weigh in on this, something that's also just important to recognize is you've got to apply so much wisdom when making a decision like that. Let's look at the property conversation, for example. You take a tenant in, you've invested in this property, you're reliant on this tenant paying to actually make sure that you are paying off your debt, because you need a good credit score. Yeah. So before making a decision like that, I have a plan in place that if this thing fails, I can back it up so that my score stays good, because otherwise you're masking your good debt with great intention conversations, but actually you're digging such a deep hole for yourself.
And your safety net can't be your parents.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
I love that you mentioned that sort of vehicle finance, because I found myself in that situation where I was told that you cannot get a vehicle because you have not accrued enough good debt.
Yes.
I was like, I'm not trying to pay people back. I'm scared, you know?
I don't want
And
to owe
like-
people anything.
Exactly, and they're all like, nope, you were supposed to owe people money, so go back, go find people to owe, and then come back
And
to
prove
us.
that you can pay them on a
Exactly.
monthly basis. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a healthy balance between the two. You can't just splurge every day and not prepare for what's going to happen tomorrow. If you have enough to do that, just be cognizant of like tomorrow's a different day, tomorrow's another day. You don't know what tomorrow holds.
You cannot just say for the future, you might die tomorrow or something.
I think in terms of long term, because I believe that long term comes with better results. So living in the present usually can be my most downfall.
I want to talk about something that I personally struggled with for a long time. Immediate gratification versus the sort of more long term. And honestly, I still struggle to this day. When I want something, I want it now. The idea of, oh, I'm gonna have to wait for this money to look a certain way in a couple of years. How do you think the youth can sort of strike a balance between that immediate gratification and the long-term gratification?
Sure. Priorities.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
That's the only thing that comes to my mind is that you need to say that I'm willing to wait a little bit, even though like it's hard because I struggle myself. But if that particular goal or that particular budget for the getaway is a priority, you can then say, I'm willing to just, bite the bullet, just wait, and then I will then achieve the goal towards the end of, let's say, the 1 year or the 6 months.
And I also feel that it is important to also reward yourself. There's a term that says pay yourself first, but paying yourself first doesn't mean taking 50% of your income and then splurging and spoiling yourself. I personally use percentages, so 10% goes to tithe, 20% goes towards maybe savings, another 20% towards investments, 30% towards expenses. Because if you're just gonna take that money and say, yo, I had a hard month, I am going to celebrate.
You only live once, baby.
Then at the end of the day, you're only shooting yourself in the foot. 100%.
Yes, I love that you spoke about the percentages, and also it comes down to priorities, because I decide what my priorities are. Then the beauty in that is when your finances increase, you're already in the habit of splitting it via specific percentages. Within that kind of a setup, I know that if I am gonna get that immediate gratification, I allocated money towards immediate gratification, because I've already been diligent in my investing, I've been diligent in my saving.
All right, before we wrap things up, I would love for us to cancel a thing or a concept. I will start, okay? Don't worry, we're not canceling each other, don't worry. Comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. I am a YouTuber, so I watch other YouTubers, and let me tell you, I'm like, are we doing the same job? Because some people are earning, hey? So I would say don't compare yourself to people, especially in a country like South Africa where, even though we look at ourselves and we're like, oh, we could be doing so much more, we are like the 1%. We are a very small percentage of people that's able to make the kind of money that we make. What's something that you'd like to cancel?
Wow. I think the biggest thing I would like to cancel is the fact that financial conversations are taboo.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why do we not speak about our finances? Why are we not open about our finances? Why are we not open to seeking advice?
For me, it's certainly two things. The first one, I'd love to cancel black tax.
Ooh.
I think it does put a lot of pressure on young black people, especially when you just started working and then you have your whole family to take care of. The second thing is not splitting the bill equally. Like when we go out as friends, can we all share the bill? But not be accountable to one person, because then that one person can't stick to their financial plans and their goals. So let's be friends that get there and say, whatever the bill is, we're gonna split it 4 ways because it's 4 of us at the table.
Okay.
The one thing I would like to cancel is popping bottles.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And my brothers know, they know, you know yourself. Guys, we don't need to pop bottles. it doesn't make financial sense. The bottle that you buy at the club for example, 1.5 is 600.
600 at the shop, yeah.
Somewhere else. And we all know those shops. So guys,
Yeah.
please, this party culture where we just spend money, month end, you're always in the club, nah guys.
Nah. Yeah, let's not pop bottles, guys. What happened to get-togethers where you sit at home with your friends?
Those are
and you
cheaper even.
Right, exactly.
Much cheaper. Organize a bride.
No pressure. I love that. So we've hacked our finances and we've improved our investments. What more could you ask for? Thank you to our amazing guests for this beautiful conversation.